Another day, another opportunity to learn. We're back here in Investagrams, and today we're going to discuss one of the important aspects of selecting a stock. It's not just about fundamentals, it's not just about having your momentum-based indicators or breakouts. We also have to consider the volume and the value traded on a stock. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to screen stocks that have significant value turnover in just a few clicks. So right now we're at the main page of Investagrams, where you can see our community, where people post their stock picks, discuss their insights, their questions, so you can join the learning here. But now if you want to access the InvestaScreener, you could just click on the top right button on the Screener tab. And once you're in the Screener, just go at the bottom part and you're going to see the indicator called value average. Once you're here, you could select the value average depending on the time frame that you want to monitor. So right now we have 10 days, 15, and 20. So just to capture more time frame or more statistics, we're going to choose the value average 20 days. And then to have a basic gauge of which stocks are actively traded and not so illiquid, we could select value average must be greater than or equal 10 million. So this would limit our stock selection to stocks that are averaging 10 million or above for the past 20 days. So instantly we're able to cancel stocks that trade for like 500,000 or less than 1 million or in other insignificant amounts. So once you've chosen the indicator, just click run. So here we have 64 results out of the more than 250 plus stocks. So this instantly quickens our stock selection process. But now that we have this list, what are we going to do about it? So one thing that you can do is sort the stock list depending on the indicator that we've used. So in this context, we're looking at value average. So here we sorted the ones that have the highest in the list. So we can see here Ayala Land at 700 million average turnover for every day for the last 20 days. And the top two is Ayala Corp. So it's both Ayala companies. And then Jollibee. So let's check out how the value turnover plays a part in selecting stocks. Okay, so you could see here that in what we usually use is volume. You can see here in the orange box, right? But if you want to translate volume into monetary values, then you could use value as an indicator. So you could just search here and then type value. So it's basically the same. If you look at the graphs below, the amounts are the same in terms of visuals, but if you're just more particular on the amount being traded, like the absolute money value being traded, then you could shift to value. But mainly that's the same. What's important is if you're seeing good price action, so example here in the short-term breakout, you see the breakout is accompanied by good volume, okay? Then you also see good value turnover. So again, it's the same thing. It's just the volume is just multiplied by the average traded price for the day. So that's how you determine the value turnover for the day. Okay, so we want to see stocks that are progressing in price but is also accompanied by good value traded. So that means that if the stock is going up, it's also accompanied by strong money flow. So there's really something. There's really weight in that price movement. Okay? So now we know that Ayala is, and besides patterning, besides looking at the patterns in price plus the volume, it's also essential that we know where the money of the market is flowing. So for the past 20 days, bulk of the value of the money is going to Ayala companies. So that's something interesting. So here in Ali, we could see this is a textbook retest. So right now it's doing 47.50. So if it breaks above the short-term consolidation pattern here, then we may see a bullish scenario where it breaks 48, then 50, then moves to a higher level. Okay, so that's one context. That's one example. And then let's take a look at AC, the top two. So it's actively traded, but in this example, the price isn't that healthy. So the price here is a bit revisiting the support levels. So probably because we have some issues with Manila Water, and then being a conglo company, a holdings company, it's not a pure play. It's not a pure property play, just like Ayala Land. This one is there's always a discount being given to holding companies. So that's one challenge. So this shows the reality that, again, it's not about one indicator. So value is just the weight and the weight and the degree of the money being that accompanies a price movement. Okay, so in this case, it's a short-term breakdown, and then earnings 3%, not that interesting. Last year 10%. So depending on how bullish you are or the scenario in the US markets, since AC is one of the biggest blue chips, plus having those internal issues that we've discussed, then this may push lower to 800 probably. Okay, so again, the value just confirms to you that the price movement that you're seeing has actual weight in it. So you have to take it seriously, and that big money is flowing or at least selling on this context of AC. Okay, so again, and for the third stock, JFC. So this one is a previous favorite, but now it's correcting with high volume. So this is how the market rolls. Sometimes you're in a good position, you're bullish, but after a significant disappointment and a turnaround in global markets or any other catalysts, the things can easily turn around. So after being a leader, it suddenly broke down. So if you're not a long-term investor, you have to be aware of how catalysts can drive prices. Okay, so right now we see here a high volume sell down. Earnings, I think these are one of the rare moments where Jollibee's earnings is negative. So mostly this stock keeps on continuing to grow, but at this point it's negative 14%. So no wonder why a lot of institutions are disposing it. So right now, probably if I was to look at this stock, we're probably gonna see it at this lower base point, 240 to 250 area. Okay, and now this is mainly for the blue chips if you want to filter the highest stocks in terms of value. But if you want to see which stocks are uppricing, you could actually look at the lower part of the value turnover in the screener. So example here, those that are trading just above the 10 million mark, first is Lopez, but nothing significant there. Then GSMI, so this is something interesting. You're gonna see GSMI with this super move. Well, it's not yet that super, but given the boring market conditions, the stagnant market conditions, 37% on a breakout is not bad. And look at this structure where after consolidating for a bit, you suddenly see value turnover spike on this stock. All right, so meaning it gives us additional confirmation for the price move. All right, so I think before this, GSMI wasn't even trading at 10 million in terms of average value. But once it had interest of the market, then you're going to see it entering above 10 million in terms of average volume, average value. Now it all depends on it really depends on your rules as a trader. So there's no perfect formula in this. The way to go about this is to ask yourself, what kind of stocks do I want to find out? What kind of stocks do I want to filter? Okay, so if you're a more speculative type of trader, you just want to trade the small caps or the micro caps, you could even lower your average, making it value average for 5M. And if 20 days is too long for you, you can sort using 10 days, value average for the 10 days, and choose above 5M. So here we're looking at more of those speculative stocks that suddenly pick up in terms of volume. Okay, so once we filter this, so again, we start at the bottom part. You're gonna see now trading at barely 5 million. From last year, it was one of the stars of the market, or at least the most talked about names. Went as high as almost 18 to 20, right? See, this is the importance of managing your risks. It's not just about letting it go and thinking that, oh, it's okay, in the long term this stock is just going to rise up. There are many negative catalysts that can happen, and in this case they didn't even qualify for the third telco. So what you're buying as a trader, what people were speculating on, didn't happen. And from 16 it went as low as 2. So that's risk management. But now that we're trading at 2, so what can we make out of this? So the basic structure here is you're in a significant support. So the 2 is a significant psychological number. Plus, it's nearing the base area. I think the previous low was around 190. So we could expect here that a revisit in this region, 190 to 2, would probably have some short-term support. Doesn't mean it's gonna recover all the way back. But if you're like bottom picking and you want to buy the fear, or buy the what was previously a star, and most probably a lot of people have cut their losses already. So if you're a bounce player type, you could probably try to test if support holds on this area. So next is CPG. So again, these are names that aren't discussed too much. They're not mainstream. There's not too much hype as of the moment, which is why they're only trading at 5M on average per day. But again, if you're a prudent investor, if you have a good strategy and system, this can be a good way to spot which stocks can potentially awake in the future. All right, depending on what happens. So depending on your strategy, you could position on these stocks, whether you're buying into weakness, buying into support, or buying when they actually awake, when they have when they do a breakout or have momentum in them. Okay, so at least using this screener plus using the value average screener combined with your other indicators can really go a long way. So another example is PLC. Quite inactive, but it's forming a double bottom, right? So it's not that mainstream, but good enough reward if you were able to catch the low portion of the range. So you're gonna have around 10% upside from if you were able to pick at 65. So that's the use of value turnover and value average, I mean. So one advantage as well, if you have InvestaScreener Plus, you could filter your stocks right on the chart. So there's no need to go to another page anymore. And then we could use the same parameters, value average, then look at it on a 10 million and above. And then when you click run, you could instantly see the list. But at this point, and then sort them in terms of value. So wait, yeah, here. I think this value isn't the 10-day average. So this is just the last day value. So we're still looking for a way where you could filter the top indicator here in the Screener Plus. But the good thing is once you screen your results right on the chart with the Screener Plus, you could just scroll easily. Okay, so these stocks are the ones that fit my filter, my indicators. Then you could easily see also this is Ali, and then ICT still strong on the trend, probably gonna create a new base here around 130 plus. Then you could switch stocks, BPI. So it's a fast way to analyze the markets. So this is one technique on how you could analyze the markets with less than 10 minutes a day. But of course, value turnover, value average is just one aspect of the whole equation. Again, you have to combine indicators depending on the kind of trader and the kind of strategy that you want to use. All right. So I hope you learned a lot in this session of ours. And if you want to learn more, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Currently, we're at 21,000 subscribers. If we reach 30,000, we're going to release another high value video. So the previous milestone that we set was 20,000 subscribers. So the last time we released a 1-day reversal trading guide here on the 20K milestone. So once we reach 30,000, we're going to release another high value setup or strategy with actual trade samples if applicable, and we're going to give it away for free. So it's a way to help each other out. So you help us grow our user base, our subscriber base. We're able to reach more of our fellow traders, and then on our part, we're able to help you with progressing in the markets. So that's it for our video today. Thank you for supporting Investagrams. See you around the community, and we're gonna release tons of more features in the next month probably. So stay tuned, and thank you.